And it was like, I had friends fall out with me for it. People are like, oh my God, you can't even, it's as if you say President Trump, it's blasphemous.
Yeah.
And I was actually like, I never knew anything about, I'm going to say this, and for however many people are watching, I knew nothing about American politics. I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in what was going on in the UK. And I was in my own little bubble and my own world. And when I woke up to all of this, it connects very, very quickly. And it's very interesting to see how people are programmed, programmed to think about Trump. And, oh, he is in a locker room and he was a racist and a bigotrist and that narrative. But when you go down this truth movement, it's all connected to the kids. Now, yeah, so take it back to Modi, the four guys, Russia, China, India.
Yeah. So they've come together, they're working together to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
And the swamp, when I first thought about the swamp, I thought about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers,
yeah,
George Soros, all these people, the Vatican.
The usual suspects.
The old word was the Illuminati.
Yeah.
New word is the deep state. The cabal is to do with the paedophile gangs and the drug gangs. They're the two areas of deep concern to Donald Trump to rid the world of. And he's working incredibly hard to rid them. And I promise you that they're the most dangerous people in the world. Both gangs are heavily armed. This is why we're in lockdown. The virus won't kill you, but they're stray bullets.
Sorry,
the reason we're in lockdown is for our own protection against the dangerous people they're arresting.
Yeah, okay.
Because bullets will kill you.
So when did this start? Right, so during lockdown, obviously the Alliance found out that it was supposed to have happened in June and July, you said, this year.
Yeah.
And it sort of happened earlier. So the Alliance, obviously, were they prepared? And
they were more than prepared. They were absolutely ready to go.
And then the lockdown happened, and a lot of stuff has happened in lockdown, right? A lot of arrests have been made.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to me a bit more about that.
Well, to give you an idea, the amount of subpoenas that were issued was 450,000 approximately, just over 450,000 subpoenas. Some were sealed indictments, some were opened indictments. Now, I didn't know the difference between a sealed indictment and an open indictment. Sealed indictment means that you've been charged with something, the court case has happened in your absence, and you have been found guilty.
Right.
So when you're served with a sealed indictment, they will open it. They will issue it to you, and you have the right of a 3-day trial to appeal it. And so far, not one of them has chosen to appeal it. Not one.
And so we're talking all the big politicians, celebrities, everyone, the CEOs. There was a mass exodus, I think about 8,000 CEOs that were just like resigning.
They've all resigned, etc., because they've all been charged and they've all found out they've been banged to rights. Now, that when let that sink in, 450,000.
How corrupt is we?
Now, the subpoenas themselves relate to 150,000 individuals.
Wow.
There's more. Some people have got more than one subpoena against them for a number of different crimes. Most people are unaware that Donald Trump actually changed the law right at the start of his presidency.
Yeah.
If you're involved with crimes against humanity, such as paedophilia or child trafficking, the mandatory sentence is death.
Death penalty, 100%.
There's only one way out of it, and that is if you're willing to help Trump expose what's happening.
And what will happen to them ultimately after? Like, so let's just say we've got like a lot of the governments that have capitulated to Trump, but they're also being complicit in a lot of the horrible adrenochrome and all of that. Have they all been whacked, or are they?
No. This is what the second lockdown is for.
Right.
So that you're very, very clear. The second lockdown that's coming, or they're going to call it a spike, COVID-19, another spike in the numbers. They'll fake the numbers.
There's a question for that, yeah.
Don't worry about that. They'll fake the numbers to make sure there's a spike to keep us locked down. But they're going to be going for the politicians and the last few dregs. But they've left them in power so that it looks right from the outside. This is very important. This is very important for Australia, New Zealand, South Africa.
Yes.
Canada.
Huge, yeah.
there's a number of European countries. Germany. Italy was drained very, very quickly right at the start because that was the head of the beast, the Venetians.
Yes, the Vatican.
They've already gone, and so is the Vatican. That's been emptied.
Yeah. Has the Pope been? The Pope's definitely gone,
the
right?
Pope went ages ago, because even before Easter, he was in his. The reason I know that, Alba, is that my people are looking after him because he's in his holiday home. He's on a tag. He's on license.
Oh, so he's not actually. When I say whacked, as in have they? A lot of people have been whacked as in the death penalty.
He's cooperating.
Okay.
So he's a value to be alive right now.
And the royals?
Some are still with us. Some are not. I can't go into the names of who is and who is not. That I've been told not to go there. Though that information will come out beginning of next year. Yeah, this is going to be sort of drip fed. You can't have so much. And before I forget, actually, in all my sort of findings and research, I mean, there was someone suggested that there's going to be a 3-day sit down on all television. Everything's going to go off, and then it's just going to be like an analog signal, and it's just going to be one. I mean, I wasn't really kind of buying that, or not sure. I just didn't know what to make of that, to be fair. I was told right from day one that there'd be a blackout, whether it was 3 days or 10 days. Yeah. There's been a lot of variations, and you have to remember it's biblical. It's in the Bible. That's what happened. And there will become a period of darkness. Now, define that. Does that mean the internet is going to go down? What does it mean? Yeah. As I've said many times, I'm not the Messiah. I'm just trying. No, I know. I had some of the questions I was getting from people. I was like, there's going to be a limit to some of these questions. I didn't share those with you earlier, but yeah, the second wave, that's going to be interesting, and the blackout. I've had tremendous amount of response from Australia and New Zealand. I'm saying, because they said, look, we're here, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing the other. I think this is a time to just to remind everybody that the previous regimes who had corrupt people in power in different countries went in and changed the regime. Donald Trump is not going to do that. Yeah. Donald Trump is going to expose them for what they are. And you, as citizens of Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Canada, and many other countries, it's your time to stand up and be counted against what's evil. Donald Trump will point it out, and Donald Trump will back you up, because he will have people in place to make sure that they don't go too far. Yes, there will be suffering, and yes, certain people have already been arrested. Don't worry about that right now, because this is just to expose to you what is going on. Because most people are completely oblivious. And it's going to take this for you to wake up and understand. The sooner you wake up to what's going on, the sooner this nonsense will stop. Yeah, absolutely. So I have a question. So with all this happening in Canada, South Africa, I mean, if you think about it, people at the top have been complicit, if not participated in the brutalities against children. And again, I will reinforce that I've lost sleep over it. I've cried. I was broken when I found out the extent of how bad this is. And all these leaders, people that we trusted, you've got Trudeau, you have Netanyahu, right? I mean, I don't want to go through all of them, but, it's crazy. And if these are the people that got Obama, I mean, let's just have a quick mention about Obama, right? That was what really was the start. He was the first person that I found out about, and Michael LeVon Robinson, I don't know how to address him, his wife, husband. Mike. Big Mike. Big Mike. Big Mike, yeah. The deception that you have this many people that adore you, including myself, and see you as the perfect family man. Same as me. See you as the perfect family man. I had a lovely good friend of mine, and I saw a post on Father's Day. She's put Obama as the epitome of fatherhood, and a good husband, and a good father. They're not even his children. And that's not Michelle. That's Michael LeVon. And my people, when I told them this, they were like, oh my God, cognitive dissonance all over.
and it's a difficult thing to talk about. Yeah,
it is.
These are the people we trusted, and when you see that through the WikiLeaks, the emails that have come out about Hillary Clinton, that was disgusting. This whole frazzle drip and all of that, but the Obama thing, hot dogs, $65,000 of hot dogs, code for boy lover. I mean, that broke my heart. Obama literally broke my heart. I liked him, but this goes to show deception at its highest. Yeah. And this is the subliminal programming that these baddies have infiltrated to society and to sort of retrack. And Donald Trump, I put an interesting article about Nasara and Jassara on my post, which I tagged you on Facebook. And it says, like, you know, actually dealing with so many psychopaths on the world stage, is that going to be easy?
It's not easy.
You know? And how long has it been going on for, Charlie?
It's been going on for hundreds of years. And
yes.
People need to get this into perspective. World War II took 5.5 years.
Yes.
We're in World War III, and we're moaning about the time it's taking. It's taken 4 months. Get over it.
Yeah.
Grow up. You know, this is far worse than World War II. Far, far worse. I mean, the people we're draining out of this is unbelievable.
This sentiment behind all of this, and but it's propelled me to talk and speak up, because if you cannot get it into your head and you cannot support it by sharing the information that this is all about the children, and at the heart and core of all of this, it's about the children. And I'm posting some disturbing stuff, and I'm strategic about this.
It's an incredible journey, but it's time to become aware of what is going on. And you don't have to take my word for it. I'm just Charlie.
I'm just Alpha.
Exactly, exactly. And we're just trying to get the message out for you to go and find out for yourself. But yeah. I'll promise you right now, if you look on the television and look in the mainstream media, you will find no truth.
Absolutely.
Nothing. You're going to have to start digging down. It's taken me, well, the last count I checked, it was over 2,000 hours of study. I've done a lot of study.
Me too.
And I've done a lot of interviews.
Yes, you've done loads.
I've got 150 videos plus out there, and I've got now 15 that I'm not allowed to publish. I've interviewed 3 girls who've been onto Epstein Island. I've interviewed doctors and nurses who are not prepared to go public but have told me the truth. So I've kept it so that I can understand the truth and relay it to you without exposing them. I've also spoken to police officers who are still in the force, who tell me how corrupt it is to the very top, but they can't go public.
But so is the NHS.
Yeah.
And so every institution, I mean, I look at it like an org chart of a company, yeah? At the top, there is probably a few good guys, but predominantly the baddies. Every institution, right from the top, has the bad people in it, and it's all fueled by a motivation for greed, power, and money, and this sickness that they're doing with the children.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know it goes into all this, like, you know, devil worshipping, satanic rituals, and
that side of it, the devil worshipping and the child trafficking and the adrenochrome and the
adrenochrome.
All that sort of stuff is so disgusting. Like you would appreciate, I've been sent many, many videos. I was sent the video of Hillary Clinton dismembering a body of a child, and I watched about 4 seconds of it, and I deleted it. And one of my mates said, "Oh, you should have sent it to me." I go, "Mate, I cannot share that kind of stuff." And the look on her face was disgusting. She was enjoying it, and I'm like, I need to wake up to reality. And I've got a fairly thick skin. I'm big softy on one side. I've got thick skin on the other. Some of the stuff that's been sent to me about the children, and how they terrorize them, because the word adrenochrome is the adrenaline that you create through fear. It goes into the blood. And then that's what they use to drink and keep them young. So if
it's like an exiliar of life. It's all coming from the Babylonian times, and it's
pretty disgusting. And the fact that anybody could do that to a child, I can't physically see whether it's my child or anybody else's child. The thought of a child being terrorized breaks my heart. I hate children being scared, because they're the purest, most beautiful, most sweet things God's ever given us. And the fact that somebody could abuse them is just, it's repulsive.
It's awful. And
the good thing is that
it's stopping.
God will judge these people.
And how far are we with like all the underground tunnels being gone forever? I don't know which other way to put it. But tell me, like, what's your intel on that? Like, how much of these tunnels? Because while we're raising awareness, we know that Trump has handled the media. This is all playing out. Are we still cleaning up? Is there still a lot of tunnels?
There's a massive cleanup, and I think it's very important now. But just for the English audience, as an example, it's very important to point out Buckingham Palace, from the start of this, was shut down. The Queen moved out.
Yeah. Harry and Meghan moved too.
Harry and Meghan did a run of Rapido. Now, this is for something that was downgraded by the governments, by the World Health Organization, by the CDC, by everybody, to nothing more than common cold. So if you're going to shut down Buckingham Palace, something is wrong. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't need to be a genius to work out something's wrong. Then the windows are all boarded up. Then you find out that the people that are guarding it are not the normal Queen's Guard. They're not there anymore. Except when the riots are on, you wheel them back in, so it looks right on television. But in the normal day, you've got Gurkhas, you've got Marines, you've got Navy, Air Force, whatever, that are just standing there on guard. Then you hear that the Queen is going into indefinite quarantine. Really? Just the word quarantine means 40 days. Quarantine. 40 days of isolation.
Yeah.
So indefinite 40 days. Let's talk about house arrest. That's probably more of a truthful word. But you can't really say the Queen's in house arrest, because everybody would panic.
Yeah.
And then you hear the Queen say, I don't know if I'll ever go back to Buckingham Palace, and it makes me sad. Yeah. And you're still not awake. You're still asleep. You're going, oh, it's unbelievable. That you actually believe. Then suddenly when the penny drops, you'll go, wow. How stupid was I? There's some of the big names like Oprah, like Ellen DeGeneres, like Tom Hanks, that the public now are becoming aware that they weren't, let's put it this way, they weren't what you thought they were.
Yeah. And that Isaac Cappy, all these people getting whacked for saying stuff. And this is one of the other things, is because I just noticed in society, and it saddens me, that people have like really worshipped Hollywood celebrities, and similar things happening in India. This is actually one of the things I wanted to ask you about. We were saying about Modi. I am drawing the patterns here. So you've got like you had Tom Hanks conveniently who got coronavirus, and Trudeau did as well, and all these people that we know now that are complicit or have some involvement with the children get coronavirus. I don't really follow, I'm not gonna be like to say this, but the Bollywood media that much. I don't know what goes on. I rely on my mum to tell me. And there's been quite a couple of celebrities, big celebrities, that have come out and said that they got coronavirus. And I was like, oh my God, not him. I don't want him to be like involved in the children. What is Modi and Trump's relationship like? Like, I know Netanyahu was complicit in all this adrenochrome stuff. What about Modi? Where was he? Has he always been a Trump? Like him and Trump?
Him and Trump are very, very close, but they don't. You have to understand, we're playing a game of chess here. So Trump doesn't want people to know that he's close to Xi, or Modi, or Putin for that matter.
That is obvious, though, with Modi.
That's very, very obvious. So there's little comments out there, but they all talk on a daily basis. I will try and lead you to where to find it. And we'll point you in the right direction, because as you'll appreciate, there's things I can and can't say, but I can point you in the direction to try and find out what's true. And it's very much like the first step on the ladder. Once you get on the ladder, then you start to climb and you start to realize what's going on. But for as long as your both feet are on the ground, you'll never learn anything. You need to start climbing and looking.
See, the cases in India are like increasing a lot, and there's a lot of, the death rates and everything are really high, and India's still on lockdown, I believe.
Well, India should know better, because they've tried vaccines out in India that have killed more people than you'll ever know. Yeah. And there's so many hidden court cases going on right now between the Indian people and Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Because he tried out the vaccine and killed, tens of thousands of children.
Oh, yeah. That's common knowledge now. I think people have woken up to the tyranny of Bill Gates and his vaccine.
The trouble is there's a mentality with the Indians. Well, there's lots more of them. There's 1.2 billion of them. Like they don't matter. You do that in England and kill the same amount of children of a vaccine, England would go mental. And this is where Indian lives matter.
Yes.
Children's lives matter.
Yeah.
And we're getting completely blown away with all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Every single life matters.
Absolutely.
The fact that they killed tens of thousands of children in India, and you seem to think it doesn't matter because there's plenty more.
Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart.
It's obscene. It's absolutely obscene. And people need to wake up.
Yeah.
People need to wake up to how many people he's killed. And also another fact that I absolutely love that has gone viral from my point of view is that anybody that didn't have a vaccine, anybody, not one person that didn't have a vaccine, was affected by COVID-19 coronavirus.
Yeah.
So all the deaths were people that had the flu vaccine.
Yeah. It goes to show how far in advance this has been planned. So, Charlie, there's some questions now. So we've dealt with all of those, and Nasara and Jassara. I'm just going to skim through them because I think we've covered most of them.
Nasara and Jassara is a very, very simple one because this is the transition we're heading into. I'm getting messages every single day now saying that certain debts have been wiped out and they don't know how, they don't know why. The fundamentals of Nasara are debt forgiveness for all the corrupt money that's come out of the Federal Reserve, because it's all
all this sex trafficking money. This is all bad money.
Yeah. So that'll, we're changing the financial system right now. So that.
And it's the quantum financial system.
That's already in operation. That started on August the 2nd. They pinged every bank in the world, and they all responded. So we're in a transition now between the SWIFT fiat system and the quantum financial system. And once everything's running smoothly, the SWIFT system will depart, because that's part of the old system. One of the critical things with Nasara is national, so it's America.
It's American.
Jassara is global.
Global.
So it's the rest of us. And every country in the world has signed up to it. Every country. So if you're saying, I get messages every day, what about Canada? Yeah, they've signed up. What about Iran? They've signed up to it. North Korea has signed up to it.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
And roughly how many countries are a part of this?
It's difficult because it's not just countries, it's countries and territories. Every country and territory has signed up to it. And I forget the exact number it was, but I had the number before, and I'm not going to guess it because if I get it wrong,
no, that's fine.
I get slated for getting the figures wrong. But every country has signed up to it. And what is going to be interesting, and this is the critical part, and we'll choose the right charities. And there's certain charities that, like Oxfam, that I feel disgusted about because
absolutely
only 20% of the money that goes to Oxfam ever.
And who endorses these charities? Celebrity.
They're all celebrity endorsed. UNICEF's another one. 80% doesn't get through. 20% does. And UNICEF famous for stealing children. And you just go, why would I give them a penny?
Yep.
There's so many charities that are just wrong. And when we get through this, we'll be able to clean up this mess. But I think it will become very important with Nasara and Jassara in our case, that when we actually are in a position where we have money, what we do with it. Do we do it for self-gratification? Do we buy a flash car? Do we buy this, that, the other? What do we do with it? Or do we help other people?